When I think of Rick Nash, when he played from, who is retiring, announced his retirement, due to concussions and things like that. When I look at Nash, specifically when he played here for the time with our, my beloved Rangers, I was so excited to get him. He was a dominant power forward. But he turned out, in my opinion, to kind of be like a bust. Great hands and size, never really lived up to the potential. Should have been a devastating player. Never scored 50 goals in a season. That year that he led the league with, I believe it was like 41, he had something like 9 assists. Now, let me explain. I think as a Ranger fan, I think the fans' biggest problem was with him was that he was making $7.88 million against the cap and was basically what you might say is a glorified penalty killer and defensive forward who came up small in big games. He scored 40 goals in 2 seasons, but that was near the beginning of his contract, and the offensive production decreased as time went on. The Rangers and the Ranger fans, expected him to carry the torch and lead them to the promised land. Now, was that too much to put on the shoulders? Kind of like Messier did many years ago with that kind of money. And I think with that kind of money that he's making, it's rightfully so to expect that from him. I think many people would have been fine, in a sense, with him if he made in the neighborhood of a $4 million instead of $8, if you understand what I'm trying to say. It's almost like we watched him as Ranger fans kind of turn into Jan Eriksson right before your very eyes. I loved Jan Eriksson, and he was one of my favorite players, but with Nash, the expectations and the contract, I think called for him to be much more of an offensive force. At times, though, could be the player that he was touted, to be, but his game changed. I definitely wish him, all the best. The playoff games was something that were not to be remembered. He made superstar money, but above average player. My 2 cents, and obviously I definitely have no skills like Nash, but just as a fan, that's what I do think. Hope all is well. Look forward to speaking to you very, very soon.